I feel like back then when people were on self-improvement journeys, maybe they didn't even call it self-improvement journeys, but in history, our ancestors, they probably had better brotherhoods beside them that helped them, that encouraged them, and that are optimistic. But these days, if you were on self-improvement journey, you're kind of like stigmatized in society. Your friends sort of talk shit about you. Isn't that weird? You go to the gym, you lift something heavy, maybe like 200 pounds. You bench 300 pounds. You talk about it with your friends, and they look down at you. They make fun of you. Isn't that weird? If there's one thing out of this video that I can say, and you probably heard this by now many times from books, from videos, you have to cut them out of your life. You have to cut these kind of people out of your life. They're not your real friends. If they're making fun of you every time you talk up, every time you speak up, your ideas, your thoughts, they make fun of you, they're not your friend. A friend is someone, a genuine friend is someone that encourages you, that listens to you. That's a real friend. A couple months ago, I was invited by a friend, and this friend we worked out many times. We kept seeing each other at the gym, and we even worked together at our workplace. And so he invited me over for dinner. We went to a restaurant, and he introduced me to his other friends. And there was this one girl and a guy. Every time she spoke up when we were having conversations at the table, this guy kept making fun of her. Every time she spoke up, any idea of her past, anything, whatever we were discussing, if she shares her thought at the table, this guy kept making fun of her. He'll literally look at me, knowing that she's saying something, and then degrade her. Then I asked about them, and it turns out they're best friends. I don't think they're best friends. So after dinner was done, I confronted that guy. I was asking him, why do you make fun of her every time she spoke up? Like, why do you do that? And he said, it doesn't really matter. I mean, we're best friends. That's just the way we are. I wonder what their mental health is like. Do you want to be that girl every time you speak up? Do you want your best friend to always make fun of you, speak shit about you every time you speak up at a table? I really don't think so. It was like an excuse for them to call each other friends because they didn't want to be alone. That's the worst situation to be in. Having a best friend that makes fun of you every time. We're social creatures. We need people around us. We depend on each other. But the people that we are with, if they don't speak anything good about you, if they don't make you feel happier, if they don't add any value in your life, they're not your friends. You need to be very critical with that. You need to be careful with that. Learn how to cut them out of your life for good. You can't change them. That's just the way they are. They're not blood related. They're not your relative. They're not your parents. They're not your sibling. You don't have to have them in your life just because you're scared of being lonely. The other part of the video is, if you are feeling lonely, that's good. Especially at the early ages, if you're working on yourself, you'll eventually meet the right people. You go to the gym, you'll meet people that also are enthusiastic with progress in life in terms of physique. You go to the library, you will meet people eventually that actually are into reading books. If you're meditating, you'll meet people that meditate, that are calmer, that don't get agitated every time there's time to get angry or something, that aren't angry as often, that are calmer. These are the people that you want in your life, right? But they're hard. You have to earn them. You have to be at the level where they are equivalent to your life and you are able to invite them in your life. They're not just going to show up. If you don't work on yourself, you're not going to hang out with these people. You have to earn them. If you're watching this video, you're probably lonely by now. And I want you to know that this process will take time. I'm working on it. I'm sacrificing a lot of things. Most people in my generation are into instant gratification because that's what's normalized in society. I realized that even if you do something like if you do any habit that has the potential possibility of addiction, it will eventually compound over time and take over your life. You need to be careful. Keep working on yourself. I love this quote by Jordan Peterson. You are what you practice every day.